Hello, welcome to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and local partner Sprocket Innovation in Paducah and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. Episode 210, we are talking news of the last few weeks, trying to pick the stories that I think apply to you, your families, your businesses, your organizations, that hopefully this information can help you stay just a little bit safer in cyberspace, because it is a dangerous place out there and one that is not getting any safer anytime soon. All right. So as I look through the stories over the last few weeks, I'm thinking about what is relevant. What do I want to talk about? What do I not want to talk about? And I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way, because the story that people are asking me the most about is probably one that is going to be not popular, but at least my opinion. But I've been asked the question enough times that I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. And it's TikTok. So if you don't know, there was a law that was passed that would require TikTok to either shut down or to be sold by, I guess it's Monday, by January 20th, or maybe it's Sunday, January 19th. Well, so here's the kind of the background of it, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So TikTok is owned by a company that's Chinese based. There is, in America, in the US, there's a thing where if the US government wanted to go collect data on a private, or take the data from a private company, say they wanted my cell phone records, they would have to go to the courts and get a search warrant, a Fourth Amendment issue. There's a protection that individuals have and organizations have. In China, the government has the right to take all data they want. Now, I'm not going to pretend I know all the details of how Chinese law works, but suffice it to say that if TikTok remains Chinese owned, all the data, your user data, if you're a TikTok user, the Chinese government, you can just assume the Chinese government has. Whether they truly have it today or they're going to get it in the future when they need it, they have it. What that represents in the minds of the U.S. government, a national security issue. Now, what is the issue? This is where it gets really complicated. There are a number of different data breaches that have happened over the last decade, that maybe 5 years, that have been longer than that, maybe closer to a decade, that have been attributed to Chinese hackers. Most believe that they are hacking on behalf of the U.S., or I'm sorry, on the Chinese government, and that data is not intended to be sold. Most of what you hear me talk about on here, it's data that's being collected to be resold. There's a value of your social security number, of your credit card, all those different passwords. There's a value on the black market. Well, in this case, it's a nation state, and the nation state's not trying to sell the material. They're trying to collect data for their use. What that use is, I have no idea. What does your TikTok data matter? I have no idea. But the idea is, the concern is that if it was just you, maybe it's not a big deal, but it's 170 million Americans that use TikTok. That's a lot of data. And they can start to learn information about U.S. Citizens' behaviors. They can start to manipulate. There's a lot of things, bad things that can happen with them having all of that access. That is why the shutdown is happening, or was passed. Now, there was a Supreme Court hearing. I did not watch it. I did not listen to it. I did not see it. I saw reports of it that said it didn't go so well for TikTok. There are rumors of different individuals or companies looking to acquire TikTok. Is it going to happen by Sunday? No. But there is a thing in the law that says that if there is evidence of acquisition, then the ban could be delayed by 60 or 90 days. Now, is that going to happen? Again, I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. There's also talk about whether or not Trump is going to come in and kind of lift the stay or reverse it. Again, I don't know. It passed Congress, so can Trump do it himself? I'm not sure. Does it have Congress have to pass them? I don't know. There's a lot that's going on in this case. Matter of fact, by the time you watch this, if you watch it on delay, something will likely have happened that changes what I even said today. But what I do know is if the ban goes into effect, TikTok is still going to continue to work tomorrow or the next day. The way that I understand it is that it will be removed from the app stores and you won't be able to update the software. So it's going to be a gradual thing. The reality is, I would assume if you're on TikTok that the Chinese government has access to your information. Is that a bad thing or not? That's a personal opinion. I think it is personally, but a lot of people don't care. But just assume that that's the case. So that's what we're talking about. That's why TikTok may be banned, should be banned, might be banned. Whatever your opinion is your opinion. But that's kind of where that situation is at the moment. But as that relates, Chinese or U.S. Commerce Department on this past Tuesday, announced that there's car tech that is from Chinese and Russian-based companies are banned. You can't use it. So, that again is related to this national security issue. There was a Salt Typhoon issue that we talked about over the last few weeks where nation state actors were able to compromise telecom companies. There are previous rulings where the FCC has said these Chinese-based vendors cannot be used for America, for FCC investment dollars. Again, whether that should be the case or not, it's all goes back to is the Chinese government, not these companies necessarily, is the government utilizing these companies as a way to collect data or to spy on the U.S. Where these rulings have happened, the answer is yes. The U.S. government, the agencies, the departments believe that there is some issue there. This has been going on for some time. I mean, this goes back. I can remember rulings back before COVID, where companies have been banned and different things have happened, but they've not been big companies. They've not been popular companies, and nobody cared. This is TikTok. People care. People are using it, and so now it's a much bigger deal. Anyway, if you have questions on that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you more about it. It's a complicated thing, and it's not an easy thing to talk about on this type of a setting, but hopefully that helps a little bit about what's going on. And by this time next week, we'll probably have a resolution about at least whether or not it was banned or what we think the future might look like for TikTok. All right. I'm going to be brief on this one because I'm going to run out of time. I talked about TikTok more than I really expected. There was a class action lawsuit filed in Missouri against H&R Block regarding alleging negligence in a data breach. And the reason I bring this up is there's a couple of words in this that I think are important. The plaintiff has claimed that the financial services company failed to implement adequate and reasonable cybersecurity procedures and protocols necessary to protect the information of its customers from a foreseeable and preventable cyber attack. The words adequate and reasonable, foreseeable and preventable. They are in quotes. Those are important words in the lawsuit. So if your company, if you review your security posture and your company is not providing adequate and reasonable, and you better look up legally what those words mean, from a foreseeable and preventable cyber attack, then you're going to have problems. There's a lot of regulatory frameworks that can help protect you from some of those things. And I would encourage you to take a look at those. Anyway, there's a lot that I didn't get to today. It always happens, and that's all right. But hopefully you found this helpful, interesting. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.